Hello viewers, Super GT here, back on Forza Motorsport 7. Now, we have a returning hopper, which is ABCS. You can see here, we have 4 different classes in the same hopper. So plenty of change here, something different, and it's good to see, well, it's not good to see this. We're going to have a look at this guy, he's just turned around. Going to head back towards the guys who haven't started yet and just punt them out the way before they've even begun their race. So that was quite an interesting moment, should we say. Welcome back to the ABC's multi-class lobby, but into the first corner at Mugello. I'm in the Viper, there's only 2 of us in, this is B class here, and well, that was the race basically. That was all the action we saw. So we're going to move to something slightly better, and now I'm going to go for this, the 97 Skyline. Turns out to be a really good car in now A class that we're in. So you can see the guys ahead, B class, driving away. So I think A class is actually in this hopper. For me, it's my favourite one. It's the best one to be in because you're faster than 2 classes, so there's the challenge of trying to overtake. But then also you've got 1 class who are just quicker, so you have to kind of watch out behind as well. So there's sort of many challenges in this kind of hopper. So eventually we are going to catch up with B class and C class. Normally, I mean it should really happen around about halfway towards the end of the race. You can see here already, so there's 6 of us, and it's fairly even throughout this first couple of corners, and perhaps releasing us in batches of only 6 players at a time makes the first corner a little bit easier to deal with, rather than sending 24 people hurtling into turn 1, which never ends well. Around the outside into 4th position. Now coming up into the hairpin, very tight hairpin here, and it's just going to get a little bit cosy, just make contact with the guy ahead, but we get through okay, unscathed. Still just about in 4th, where this guy's just trying to poke his way in, and to give him a little bit of space. Then he backs out eventually. Now this is the part where no one knows where the hell they're going. I think some people want to go to the right, some people go to the left. And, well, RIP to some of those guys who went the wrong way. This guy comes back up the inside for a lunge, back into 5th momentarily, but then to 4th in reality. So the challenge from behind is now gone. There's only 4 of us, I think, who really stand a chance of winning in A class. Into the final corner. Now, again, we don't know exactly which configuration we're doing, it seems, as we go 4 abreast up ahead momentarily. So I get past that B class car. And now looking up behind the Lancer, which was leading about 2 corners ago, and then into the first corner there's carnage already, especially the back of that guy. Then I get a nice punt from behind and go right through the trouble. Now that was extremely lucky. It could have ended a lot worse. I stayed kind of facing the correct direction and got through unscathed with a nice little booster from behind. So that helped. So now it looked like a 6-way race, and then it went down to 4, and now maybe only 2, with the BMW just around the corner, trying to make its way through with contact up against, I think, the C-Class cars now. So they won't take too kindly to that, and on the exit of the carousel I'm going to try to thread the needle through the centre. They give me space, and I am through. So no traffic to worry about. Actually, no, there's a couple more cars just around the corner here. But my main target is the class win, so A class win, which is that BMW just immediately ahead of us now. So we know the circuit layout. We can take this chicane fairly quickly. You do have to slow down quite a lot if you go to the right there. Then spotting our braking zone, which isn't always easy because those brake markers do get knocked away very often. And then once they do, you're screwed pretty much. That is something that is pretty tricky to deal with sometimes if your brake markers disappear. Civic on the outside goes a little bit too deep. I was thinking about going to the inside, I didn't really have to in the end. And then we've got the leading C-Class car trying to get past him through the kink onto the main straight. It gives me plenty of space, so there's actually plenty of respect being shown as we go to the final lap. So it's a 1-lap duel now pretty much between the might of Germany and the might of Japan. Skyline versus BMW M3. Let's see how this one goes. So twisty circuit, twisty configuration, plenty of overtaking opportunities. I'm trying to get the cut back here, and I've just about got a nose alongside down the hill and there's going to be contact. Not a good move at all, so I'm just going to back off slightly. I mean, I could have gone through, but I think it's not really the way I want to win by kind of barging him out of the way. We've got still half a lap remaining, so we can still try to get past him. So the BMW got solid grip. I'm going to go for that late apex to get a really good drive onto this back straight. It seems as though I do have good top end, so I might be able to just reel him in. Probably not going to be close enough though for a move into the very tight hairpin. Pretty much just a point there. That's about as sharp as it gets. But it does open up quite a lot on the exit, so you can get some good speed onto this back straight section, which isn't straight. So slaloming to the left and then to the right onto the back straight now, which is a short run into the chicane. Looking up the inside, someone's rejoining. That's going to put us off slightly. I just have to kind of take to the grass to give this BMW a little bit of room as it's swept around the outside. One more corner remaining to try to get the job done, and I'm a little bit too far away. I'm going to try to force him into an error, and he does actually go in very deep, so I'm going to get a nice cutback here. Is it quite going to materialise? I'm going to have to get a very good run towards the line. He has got track position. Go for that little cutback on the straight, but the run to the line is very short. So it's going to be a second place, but it was actually a really nice race there. And plenty of respect shown by the B and C class drivers. Now alarm bells are ringing. Alarm bells are ringing. Someone has elected to go into one of the big ramming trucks. So we'll see how that one develops as we eventually catch up to that guy. I've gone for the 78 Mustang here. So again, A class, it doesn't change you like it did in Forza 6. You stay in the same class for all your races, which can be a bit annoying because I don't know if you're like me, but I prefer to be in A and S class. I'd rather not be in C if I can help it. So if I am in C, then you're going to be staying there. And what a surprise, we actually have the ramming truck pushing everyone off, and he's chasing this guy along the grass. I was expecting to get murdered here, but it didn't quite happen. So murder at Mugello wasn't quite on the cards unless he does catch up through here, but looking behind, he's got a bit of a gap now, and I think I've escaped the clutches of hell. I'll just about get away. Going past the BRZ, going to go for the lunge. It wasn't a very good one. Well, I got past, but it went a little bit deep, lost time on the exit. Now he's backed off. So you have that sort of hesitation where you don't know if they're going to let you go or if they're going to kind of turn across. So I kind of just went for the lunge and hope for the best. Now we're going to skip ahead a lap here. So this is lap 2 now. The same point on the circuit. And the race has pretty much developed into a race for the outright win, because if you can see on the left hand side of the screen, the gaps between myself and second place for A class is rather large now. So just trying to win the race. It gets a little bit cosy here as the Civic and the S2000 get a little bit close, and I thought about going to the inside, and it kind of worked on the exit. I think as the S2000 really gave us both a lot of room. And through the chicane onto the back straight towards the final corner, we've got another Honda S2000, presumably the lead car in B class. Tends to be a very good car in B class. But I do have a very quickly approaching Ford GT40 coming up behind. And with only the straight line left, is he going to be able to get past? It looks like he will in the Ford OP40. Definitely the biggest car, or one of the biggest cars in S class. So not quite the overall win in that one. Still first in class. Now the rammer truck here, I'm just wondering if they're kind of changing their approach to the way that they go about their ramming these days. So we saw it at Mugello, he kind of wiped out people in his own class, but then this was an amazing opportunity to go for some bowling into the first corner here at the short Cota, and well, it didn't actually materialise. I didn't see anyone go flying upside down and dying. The approach of rammers may well be changing. Now this is a blast from the past, the 2005 Honda NSX-R. This is a car that back in Forza 4 in A class, which I used to always do, this is the car I pretty much used most of the time, or the Ford Mustang 05, but those two cars were definitely my favourites, so it's always good to come back and kind of use these cars that you used to use in the older games. So Sebring this time around, just 2 laps. This has got to go down as the haziest circuit in the game, which is this constant heat haze coming up from the ground, which can make it actually quite difficult to see. So coming up behind this guy gets a little bit tricky, because as long as he holds his line it's okay. A little bit of time loss, but I mean, he just held his line, so it's absolutely fine. In many ways, I think some people are being a little bit too kind. I don't think you really have to, get off the racing line to let someone pass, just as long as you're not swerving or doing anything really silly. So on the brakes into the hairpin, first drive of this car with this tune, so I wasn't quite sure, and it's very easy to go on at that hairpin, so I thought I'd be quite conservative just to make sure I don't make a silly mistake. So the O2 Camaro goes through into the lead. It'll be a good battle between us, I think. It looks like we're fairly evenly balanced with quite good power. The Escort here, a little bit in an awkward position, but I mean, it's not really his fault. He's got his own race to do, so I don't really manage that situation as well as I could have done. Lose a bit of time and momentum to the Chevrolet. Two guys there in, I think, B class just wiping each other out, so it's not quite going all to plan for them. So flying past the Audi, definitely you need the straight line speed here at Sebring. Obviously a lot of complex corners here, especially lots of strings of corners together, but also lots of many power sections. Of course, we come up to them here, and this guy just disappears. So again, it seems like the Rammer wagons, they're changing their approach. They can kind of just disappear and morph into something else somewhere else in the track and ram you from an unexpected direction. So truly worrying times indeed. So this actually developed quite nicely. As we look up the inside into the final corner, a bit of contact, not once but twice. So the Chevrolet forcing his way back around the outside, keeping first position. So I'm still right on his tail. I think I got on the throttle a little bit earlier than he did. Past the Honda Civic, presumably a C-Class car there. Always a good car in that class. Looking up the inside, and once again a little bit tentative on the brakes. I wasn't quite as confident as I might have been with this car on its brakes, as again it was my first time driving this exact configuration, this tune. But there we go, a little bit better there into turn number 2, and just got to be patient through this turn onto this straight before the hairpin. The Camaro taking that very nicely, getting a gap of around about 100 feet now. A couple of cars to overtake, should be able to get past this one quite easily, yes, but the next one's quite far ahead to go up the inside. We're going to have a look, braking before the 300 board. He leaves the space open. The Chevrolet Camaro goes straight off the grass, so I think he may well have been distracted by the overtake at the same time, and you do have to brake a little bit earlier if you're going up the inside, as you have a kind of tighter angle to take. So now into the lead, only 2 laps, so about half a lap remaining now, and I'm going to be the one making the mistake now into turn 10. So a little bit deep, a little bit wide, so he will be seeing that, the Chevrolet, and licking his lips, knowing that he still has a chance as long as I do make another mistake. So it seems to be one of those races where neither of us are driving really that well, but we are still quite easily out in the lead of A class, and at the moment in the lead of the entire race between all the classes. So it seems like S class not being quite able to catch up, although normally they should, but I do suppose that they have more kind of traffic to deal with. So I mean, if you can get away from the rest of the guys in A class, then you're not really going to have to deal with them, whereas the people in S class have to kind of get past the slower A class cars. So into the final corner, just one corner remaining, around about 100 feet gap, a little bit too late on the brakes, going to go really deep. I kind of knew that I had enough space, just have a brief look behind and just check that we've got the room to cut across, and we do. So it's going to be another fine victory. Victory is sweet as always, so another first place. Now that's the car I used at Mugello, but we're going to go with, at Spa, the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. Yeah, I think I got that. So this is Spa-Francorchamps, the famous Formula 1 circuit, one of the best circuits in the world. Gone for the Alfa, and another short 2-lap race, and going through the first corner, trying to go around the outside of the BMW, just get on the power. You can see there just how slidey this car is. Once you engage that throttle, it really does want to slide. So I'm going to have to take note of that. Past the BMW quite easily, so this car definitely has straight on speed. And it is important around here, as these two guys have massive contact, Moses effect in force. The BMW comes back as I have to kind of slow down to predict where those guys were going. Sometimes they can bounce back off that wall quite dangerously, so just back it off to make sure I don't go into the back of them. But easily back past the BMW on the Kemmel Straight into Les Combes, and we have a slow car here, and it's a Subaru. I'll try to get past him up the inside here, and he leaves the space open. So I mean, you can see here the slower class drivers actually showing a lot of awareness, which they really should be. I mean, when you're in the slower car and faster cars are going to be overtaking you, you do need to be paying attention, not only forwards but backwards as well, just in case you turn across someone who's going up your inside. So plenty of awareness, plenty of respect being shown, and I must say actually the racing was really good in this lobby. So up the inside of the BMW, you see they're definitely got the power advantage, but going to go way too deep on the brakes into Pouhon, go deep. The BMW comes back at me. It's really one of those yo-yo kind of races where now I've got the power once again to catch back up. Braking just under the gantry, but just before in this car, as the brakes do seem a little bit off, but not too bad. So through the chicane, up towards the final sector of the lap. The BMW just pulling away there, so definitely he has a handling advantage, but I've got somewhat of a power advantage. We're coming up to a straight line section here. We're just going to try to get past this guy. I'm not sure which way he's going. I thought he was going to go to the right, and he does eventually. So nearly a collision, but just about getting through. Still remaining in third place, so definitely catching that group up ahead. The BMW opened up a 100+ feet gap, and it's already closed back down. Drives a little bit wide, and as he rejoins, we're going to get back past him up into second place. Now this is the choke point where everyone is going to sort of get brought together. So we're looking at the S2000 on over the grass or over the tarmac, the excess tarmac. Just give that MX-5 a quick pump on the exit. So it's a really good race here, just trying to spot where that BMW is, and I'm not sure whether I should lunge up the inside. Probably a silly move to do that. I'm going to be patient here. The BMW just does a little cutback on me up the inside. He has a bit of room to do it, but it's not quite going to pay off for him on the exit. So now we've definitely caught up with the S2000 immediately ahead of us, as he had a bit of trouble through that final chicane trying to navigate past all the slower class drivers. A Honda Civic very close to the barrier on the top of Radeon, so we're going to go past him quite easily. S2000 thinking about going defensive, but no, he doesn't go for it. So I'm going to go sailing by into first place. So that's my strong kind of section done. Going past this guy, is he going to leave the door open? Yes, he does. So really, really clever, smart driving, I think, just to avoid incidents. As much as you want to go fast and set good lap times, just not getting involved in a crash is just as important in a short race, a short dash like this. So now we're in the lead. We're going to try and preserve our lead in A class, but also, of course, go for the overall win. So we've got a car immediately ahead of us just around this corner, and then one good couple hundred feet ahead going into Pouhon just about now, so maybe 3-4 seconds ahead. So in we go, on the brakes a lot earlier this time to make sure we don't go too wide, and we've got that corner pretty much nailed as we come through the second apex, long second apex towards the next chicane. Braking just under the gantry once again, or just before, and the car, I think I've adapted somewhat to the car, so it's very, very tempting just to get on the throttle and get the power down, but if the car's going to slide, there's no point in doing it. You're just going to lose time. So on the second lap, I think I've been a lot more careful. You can watch this back. You'll see how, on the first lap, I was sliding everywhere, but on the second lap, not really too much in the way of sliding the rear end out on corner exit. So, I mean, slowly adapting. Just looking behind, the guy in second in A class doesn't have any headlights, so I can't actually see him apart from his name above his car. So that's the ultimate way to sneak up on the race leader. As we come round, I can't even remember the corner name, Blanchimont. Jesus, one of the most famous corners in the world, and I forgot it. So into the bus stop chicane, final couple of corners. The guy in second place did actually get very close. He's less than 100 feet behind. Can't really see him as he has no lights, but we do just about get the race win. Now, I really enjoyed this lobby. Good racing overall, and good to see it back. Let me know your thoughts on this hopper, as I think it's a good one. So yeah, there we go. Do let me know your thoughts as always, guys, and smash the like button if you enjoyed, and obviously subscribe for more of the same. I shall see you in the next one. I thank you very much for watching as always. Have a good day, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.
Listen.